What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Classroom Confessions. My name is Orlando Baxter, former teacher turned stand-up comedian, and now host of a show where I read, react to, and grade anonymous confessions based on a specific theme. This week's theme is school crush fails. So if you've ever been in a situation where you had a crush and you attempted to make that person your girlfriend or your boyfriend and you failed, this is the episode for you. But before we get into it, I'd like to announce the winner from last week's episode, which was kicked out of school. The winner for Confession of the Week was the assistant principal from Las Vegas who kicked two kids out of class because they said he smelled like doodle. He thought they were being disrespectful, but the truth was he did smell like doodle because he had dog poo on his shoe. He didn't realize that, but he apologized. He ended up receiving the most votes, so that won Confession of the Week. So please continue to vote and send in your favorite Confession of the Week. Now let's begin with this one. Our first confession comes all the way from San Diego, California. A current high school student. He says, "Hey Orlando, there's this girl in my history class I had a crush on since sophomore year. I never talked to her, but I do stare a lot." Already bad, bro. It's already bad. Like too much. At one point, I started timing it, how long I could look without getting caught. You got to blink, my brother. You can't just, this is love. This isn't a staring contest. It's strange. Worst part is I did get caught. One day she looked at me and said, "Why are you always looking like you're trying to solve a mystery? Were you Scooby-Doo? You trying to solve mysteries?" Everyone laughed. I haven't made eye contact since. I know I should just talk to her like a normal person, but now it's too weird. It is. It's too late. Was I being creepy or just awkward? What grade would you give me? I would give you a C for being creepy and awkward. You can't just stare at someone, I love you, without blinking. That's ridiculous. What grade would you guys give him? All right, confession number 2 is a former middle school student from Denver, Colorado. Shout out to Denver. It says, "Yo, Orlando, back in 8th grade, I had a huge crush on this girl. Never spoke more than 5 words to her, but I was obsessed. Obsessed is always dangerous. So naturally, I wrote her a love letter, like a long one, 2 full pages of poetic nonsense." Yeah, that's a lot. "Then I stuffed it in her locker anonymously. She read it out loud to her friends." Ooh, never good. "They laughed so hard I thought I might actually disappear. She never found out it was me, but that almost made it worse. I was haunted into silence. I thought it was romantic. Now I realize it was giving librarian with boundary issues." Yes, something like that. "I really thought I was going to win her over with 'Your smile is like recess for the soul.'" That's actually a pretty good line. What grade do I get? I'm not going to say that was creepy, but I'm going to give you a C for it being kind of cringeworthy. Confession number 3 comes all the way from Minneapolis, Minnesota, from a former high school student. Okay, "Hey Orlando, I had a crush on my AP chemistry teacher senior year. He wore corduroy pants in a bed. That's all it took. Low expectations. I got weird about it. Stayed after class every day, asked if he needed help cleaning the whiteboard. Started wearing makeup to school, even though I never wore it." Oh, you changing for it, brother. "One day, I accidentally left a note in my notebook that said, 'Mr. C equals my chemical reaction, heart.'" Ooh, that is scandalous. "He saw it, didn't say anything, but started calling on me less and keeping more distance." That brother was smart. "I was mortified for months. At the time, I thought I was being smooth. Now I see it for what it was, cringe. Give me a grade, please. Maybe a time machine." Okay, if I had to give you a grade, I'm gonna give you a C. Not because it was cringy, not because it was creepy. I'm gonna give you a C simply because of the corduroy. Who the f is attracted to somebody with corduroys? Super weird. How you catching feelings over fabric? That makes no sense to me. Confession number 4 comes from a parent in Charlotte, North Carolina. He says, "Hey Orlando, my daughter had this young single teacher for 3rd grade, and I ain't gonna lie, he was fine. Like unnecessarily fine." Okay, calm down. "At back to school night, I may have dressed like I was going to a brunch. Wore heels, full face. Left my wedding ring at home. Good Lord, what is your problem? I started volunteering a lot, signed up to chaperone the class field trip real quick." Oh, she was on that. "I do it." Eventually, my daughter asked, "Are you coming to school again to see Mr. Smith?" Damn, your daughter noticed. I realized I was doing the absolute most. I never made a move, thank God, but I was definitely showing off for a man with spelling word posters on the wall. I need a grade, but also forgiveness. If I had to give you a grade, I'm going to give you a D because you wanted that D. You didn't cross the line. You were tiptoeing though. This is why I know you wanted the D. You left the wedding ring at home. Come on now. You can't leave your wedding ring at home for your kid's teacher? That's crazy. This next confession comes from an elementary school teacher from Columbus, Ohio. She goes, "Hey, Orlando, I had a student whose dad used to pick her up every day and he was fine and friendly." Those are two dangerous words. Fine and friendly. We'd make small talk, nothing major, but then I got bold. I made a joke like, "You better stop being this charming or I'm going to end up grading you too." Too much. It's too much. He laughed, but it was nervous, and I instantly realized I had crossed the line. From that day on, he sent his wife to pick up his kid instead. Damn, he knew. Looking back, I still don't know what possessed me. The D. I had recess duty and was out here acting like it was happy hour. You were. Please grade this mess. If I'm going to give you a grade, I'm going to give you a D because it was obvious that you wanted the D. Ain't no way you going to do all that flirting. You know you on the job. You ain't supposed to be doing that. But I get it. He was fine and friendly. He even knew you wanted the D. That's why when he went home, he was like, "Listen, honey, she wants me. So you either take the kid or I'm going to sleep with her." And the wife. All right, this last confession comes all the way from Kansas City, Missouri. School guidance counselor says, "Dear Orlando, this happened last year and I still cringe when I think about it. I had a tiny crush on the new gym teacher. Nothing serious, just noticed him a lot. She was looking at them gray jogging pants. I know what she was doing. At the school pep rally, he was helping with the three-legged race and trip." Three-legged race, coincidence? I think not. She's like, "Okay, I'm going to take the kid for now on." But yes, D. I sprinted across the gym like it was life or death and asked if he was okay in front of the whole school. Come on now, that's crazy. Like I was his wife or emergency contact. She was interested. Later that day, a 10th grader came by my office and said, "Miss Jackson, you were real concerned." Anytime a kid do this right here, you were real concerned. They know what's up. I wasn't even subtle. What grade do you give someone who catches feelings and catches attention at the same time? If I had to give you a grade, I'm gonna be honest, I would give you a C. You didn't cross no lines, but the vibes was there. You didn't care about his ACL. You wanted to see what was that third leg about. I know what you was doing. I'm gonna give you a C. So that's a wrap for this week's episode of Classroom Confessions. Please make sure you drop a line in the comments on what confession should win Confession of the Week. Got a story of your own? Head over to orlandobaxter.com and send it in. Next week's episode is parents who do too much. So if you have a confession about a parent who micromanages, oversteps boundaries, or embarrasses their kids at school, please send it in to orlandobaxter.com. And that's a wrap for this week's episode of Classroom Confessions. Thank you for hanging out with me. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button, whether you're watching on YouTube or listening on the podcast. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week on Classroom Confessions. Peace.